multiculturalism?
My take?
Your take.
Well, I believe that Brampton, currently 10th largest city in Canada, is poised for a very bright future. The reason we can anticipate and look forward to a very bright future, I believe, is in the capacity of our own people who live here. The people who live in Brampton truly represent the world, because people have moved to Brampton from around the world. So we bring this great citizenry together, the people of Brampton, and we work together to find the best opportunities for families to succeed, for the city to succeed, for business to succeed. And our strength is our diversity. Imagine.
Yeah, strength is the diversity, but at this point, what would you call Canada? A multi-nation or one nation?
Well, I think Canada is one nation. When, Canadian is Canadian. It represents freedom. It represents respect of people. It represents justice. It represents a safe and civil society. That's Canada. And Brampton is the epicenter of this Canadian just society. What an incredible place in our history that we find ourselves in this great city called Brampton, open for business, poised for growth, with our arms open to the world, beckoning people, come and become part of the Brampton family. We are one family.
That's true. But again, coming back to that, there is diversity, as you said, but there has to be a focal point. There has to be one culture. Cultures have to merge somewhere. Do you think that is necessary?
I don't know when you say cultures have to merge. I mean, if we put an emphasis on there's some expectation that we merge, then we depart from the very sense of respective differences or freedoms. Why do we have to merge? Why can't we coexist as neighbors, as friends, as family, as co-workers, as entrepreneurs? People coexist, whether they're house by house on one street or businesses competing in the same sector, but we can all coexist. There's room for everybody in our house.
So what we are talking about is actually unity in diversity.
Unity in diversity would be a tremendous phrase to really summarize what is the experience currently in Brampton. Unity and diversity. In fact, I often say when you visit different families on different streets, we're really all the same. Yet we come from different ideas, different worlds sometimes, or even different family structures. There's so many differences, yet we are all the same. And that's, to your expression, unity in diversity. At the end of the day, we're all Bramptonians. We're all Canadians. This is our family.
What do you think is the impact of South Asian culture on Canadian society?
Well, and again, it's as mayor, I have the privilege of moving in all of the different cultural groups, and what I embrace and what I'm so amazed and proud to be part of is the respect that people have for each other, the richness of culture, the richness of traditions, something to be taught to the North American born, if you will, traditional cultures. Often people say to me, why do we have to give up this and give up that? And I always say, well, whoever said you had to? Why did you give up your tradition? Why did you? Nobody asked you to. What I find with the South Asian culture, so many very vibrant and rich traditions, so many solemn traditions, so many respect of seniors traditions that are carried through and really tie together an entire community. I'm always amazed at the support in the South Asian community. You'll have a business person start up a business, and everybody comes, and everybody wishes them well, and everyone wants to make that family's dream come true. And then another family will start a business or move a business or create a business, and everyone will go and support. What a community. Very tightly knit, yet open to every opportunity. And when we remain open, then there's always a prosperous and positive outlook. It's when we want to stay in our own little box that you can't succeed. You have to be open. So as I move around Brampton and you see people from, every continent in the world working together, chatting together, socializing together, cheering on Team Canada hockey at the Olympics, or as we speak, cheering on the Canadian cricket team. This is Brampton.
Yeah, coming to art, actually, being an artist, I wanted to talk to you about arts also, and arts in Brampton. Art has two aspects. One is commercial, when it becomes entertainment, like I saw there. And one is art for art's sake, where numbers are not there, where the artist, and there are arts and art organizations. They work hard, and for them the art is for art's sake. So as an administrator, what place do you assign to these artists and art organizations?
Now, it's an interesting question because I believe, first of all, arts is an expression. It's an expression of the very capacity and the gift of an individual as they share their gift with an expression of graphic arts or visual arts or creative arts. And we talk about Brampton's future embracing the creative economy, the jobs of tomorrow. And arts winds all through the creative economy. A healthy city has a very healthy arts community. A healthy city has a very creative community where people who are in the arts, arts for art's sake, are feeling supported and not set aside or invisible, but rather bring the arts more in front of Brampton. I always say to people, arts are often misunderstood. If you look at a human being, you can't see their blood. But if their blood's not good, they're not good. If their blood's good, they're good. Arts are like the very lifeblood of a community. It's not even obvious to people how much the arts impact how you feel, how a product is marketed, how so many things can be. I mean, in a simple illustration, I often say to people, where would the sports community be without the arts? The Toronto Maple Leafs would all be playing in a white jersey because a graphic artist created their uniform. A musical artist created the music that's always part of the game. Or whether you talk about, all of the major sports or arts are the fabric, it's the foundation upon which a successful city will stand. It's important to me as mayor that Brampton have a very clear and obvious arts community. That's why the city of Brampton has endorsed the arts plan for Brampton called HACC, H-A-C-C, HACE, which stands for Heritage, Arts, Culture, Entertainment. That is the foundation plan for the city's economic development and arts development 2011 to 2016. That plan is endorsed through the arts community, endorsed by the City of Brampton Economic Development Department, where we say the foundation for the city needs to be founded in the very fabric of the arts community. Without that, you're just a cookie-cutter community like any community anywhere. Brampton's distinction is our heritage. We predate Confederation. Our arts community is very diverse. Because of our diversity, you're seeing the interaction of arts style, arts music, arts visually, the arts community through language, through poem, all interrelating. So there's your arts foundation in Brampton. Culture. Brampton, a absolutely multicultural, cosmopolitan city. And all of that combined, again, reinforces the foundation, the bricks and the mortar, to build the most modern, culturally diverse, cosmopolitan city in Canada. That's my vision.
Any plans of making something like Living Arts Center in Brampton?
Well, we do have the Rose Theatre is the Living Arts Center, is the Performing Arts Center in Mississauga. The Rose Theatre Brampton is the Performing Arts Center here. The additional component on the Living Arts Center for visual arts and sculptors and artists and so on is Beaux-Art on Main Street, right in front of the Rose Theatre. Beaux-Art is an outstanding facility that so many artists in Brampton come together through Beaux-Art. That entire heritage block is now in redevelopment discussion, but absolutely contemplating Beaux-Art remaining as part of the main street of Brampton that has the opportunity and Beaux-Art, I mean, for arts places have to be affordable, because as you say, arts for art's sake does not necessarily, in fact seldom attaches to large dollar returns. But we have great emotional value, great desire for the arts, but it doesn't always translate into the economy to afford the spaces that are made available through the Living Arts Center. Very expensive, whereas Beaux-Art is affordable. So it's important to me that to support the arts in Brampton, that we create affordable arts and cultural spaces where people can practice their art. When we have the arts tour of Brampton and the juried art shows and all of these opportunities that are doing well in Brampton because the city supports these opportunities. The Studios of Brampton tour, where for a weekend people go all over Brampton where you wouldn't know someone has a studio in their home, or perhaps in their yard, or upstairs in their house, or in a little retail spot, or 3 or 4 artists together. And the Studios of Brampton tour annually put on, invites the people of Brampton to take a tour and discover who's here. Amazing. And these are all part of Brampton's personality. The challenge is letting people know. Not everyone knows Beaux-Art Art Gallery is in downtown Brampton, available for anyone to show. Not everyone knows that there are artist studios in the back upstairs, children's art classes, right there on site, downtown Brampton. Not everyone knows that we have such a thriving arts community, the Brampton Arts Council. So we have to, our challenge is to share with the world what Brampton has to offer and then build on it. And I need everyone to be involved in that, because everyone's contributing now. Everyone's contributing right now. And when we all come together, we can carve a profile for this city that will be second to none in North America. Second to none.
Mayor, you have recently stated that you are focused on job growth and efforts to better market Brampton as an ideal place to do business. How do you plan to do that?
Well, Brampton, we are currently the 10th largest city in Canada. We have a prescribed growth population by the provincial government to grow from 500,000 people, where we are today, to close to 800,000 people. So Brampton factually is on a growth trajectory. We are a growing city. We're open for business. What can a municipality do to ensure that as you grow, you set aside the opportunity for comparable employment growth? You don't just want to grow residentially. So what we've been doing for the last 10 years is setting and developing the official plan for Brampton, boundary to boundary. So Mayfield Road to 407, Highway 50 to the east, Winston Churchill to the west. That is our Brampton. The entire lands of Brampton are inside the what's called urban boundary for the city of Brampton. It's all expected to become filled as an urban community. We have set aside and reserved and designated employment lands to allow for job growth to occur in Brampton that will be able to support the residential growth or vice versa. Brampton is the city closest to Canada's busiest airport. These lands are now zoned, serviced, or about to be serviced. The financial plan is there. You can't develop lands that don't have water and sewer. The plans are in place. The money is all in the plan to be there. You can't just bring a company and put it in a field. So serving and protecting employment lands is the first order of business. Done. Having the capital, long-term capital plans to put the sewer and water, done, with the financial plan to go with it through development charges, no impact of property taxes. Incredible. To then have the zoning in place to protect so people can buy the land and move to building permit without hoping, would it be zoned? Will I be able to put my company here? We're into secondary planning phase, pre-zoned land, ready to go to market. Incredible. 4,000 acres of land beside Canada's busiest or largest city, ready to go to market for employment. That's extraordinary. And the residential mix of the yet-to-be-developed land includes a full range of housing, from affordable housing, rental units, to senior executive homes, because you need the full range to attract business. These are what municipalities can do. We've set aside in certain key corridors a different level of zoning for prestige industrial or commercial, where we're targeting Fortune 500 head office companies. We're doing economic development now in business sectors. We're focused on the creative economy. We're focused on pursuing life sciences, jobs of the future, IT, innovation, aerospace, food and beverage. Historically, Brampton has been a manufacturing town, and we will continue to have a strong manufacturing base, and many wonderful, proud, skilled people work in the manufacturing sector. But we know in Ontario, many of the manufacturing jobs have gone. They won't all come back. So for Brampton to have a robust financial future, we need to focus and target and attract the jobs of tomorrow, the high-tech jobs, the creative economy jobs, the innovation jobs. We can, again, do that by having a very, basically we set the table by the zoning, and now it's time to invite people to come and be part of Brampton's future. We have the most acclaimed post-secondary institution right here in Brampton, Sheridan College of Applied Technology, degree granting courses in applied engineering. The highest university degrees can be obtained right here in Brampton through Sheridan College. These are post-secondary degrees that lead to real employment, real innovation, or entrepreneurship. Then you package all of what Brampton has into a marketing platform, because if you have all the best ingredients in the world, if you don't tell anybody, how can you sell? So Brampton has an award-winning marketing plan, and with now this term going forward, that's why you heard me say in my speech, it's time for Brampton to take what we have. We've put the firm financial foundation. We run the city like a business. We have a AAA credit rating, competitive tax rates, low utility rates, available ready-zoned land and service, a multilingual, highly educated young workforce. It's time to take this to market and tell the world. And we invite the residents of Brampton who are already here to be part of the intelligence and the connections as we connect to the consulate offices in other parts of the world, the site selectors, the ICI real estate people who are helping international business relocate. They need to know what Brampton's story is, because when they know, they will tell their client, your best option is to locate in Canada. Your best option is to locate in the center of Canada. In fact, your best option is to locate in Brampton, Ontario, Canada, a safe community, a family community. That's what cities can do. Cities can make a community where employees want to live. If you want to relocate your company and all your employees aren't happy, you're not going to have a successful business, or people aren't going to want to go. You're not going to attract people. You're not going to, the best and the brightest also want a number one priority, a good family life, and a good secure place to call home. So we've been busy building Brampton to be home to people. This is people's home, not a temporary place to move to and then you move on in a few years. When people move to Brampton, we want people to stay, to become second and third and fourth generation. That's why in Brampton we did the first in Canada places of worship planning policy, because part of community is establishing your place of faith, whatever that faith is. Brampton, first in Canada, to create a policy that created an even playing field so everyone can also have a place of worship that is part of their life and community. Nowhere else in Canada will you find this.
I feel
how extraordinary.
I feel like shifting to Brampton. You sold it to me.
So now the mayor takes all of my plans and it's time to go to market, whether it's India or China, the great nations of the world. But you, again, and I emphasize this to people, it's not just a matter of, go and fly to another country. We're not going to stand at the airport. These are countries with a population of 1 billion people. You could spend a lot of time and not build the connections and get the most exposure of the Brampton story. So we're doing our research this year for the right people and the right places. So when you talk to this person, you're talking to the most people effectively. It's not good enough that everyone says, oh, yes, I know where Brampton, Canada is now. No, we want people to say, just as you said, I think I need to move to Brampton.
Seriously.
Because the mayor of this city believes in the people.
Yeah.
I'm proud to be mayor of the people. The bricks and mortar, every city has buildings. Yeah. Tall ones, short ones, big ones, small ones. But only Brampton has this incredible entrepreneurial spirit from all over the world. When people sit and talk to the mayor, they talk about possibilities, opportunities. They talk about dreams and what they believe they can make happen. That's the conversations that I find myself in as mayor. So I'm so inspired, and I believe in how can a municipality lay the foundation for people to travel with their dream and vision and build a better Brampton, so that when we're older we could look back and say, what a phenomenal place in the world, Brampton, Canada, like Paris, France, like London, England. You become that significant as a location that the great cities of the world, that's how you're thought of. And I see us as Brampton, Canada.
Okay, now this delegation that you are taking, the Board of Trade is taking to India, do you have any place for art in that?
Well, to be honest, a lot of people are interpreting how this delegation is going to work. That work hasn't, that design of that delegation has not been finalized. We've only just started to, with the budget approval, develop who would travel, what sectors are we visiting, what is the best way to do the business that we're setting out to do. With our current sister cities, we have arts and culture exchange. With, in fact, I just brought in an invitation from our sister city in Miami, where the mayor is very determined with arts as a basis for the productivity and growth of her community. They're part of Sister Cities International, all based on arts, for art's sake, arts and community. So our sister city with Miami is an arts-based, arts and culture exchange sister city. Our sister city relationship with Plano, Texas is more high-tech business. Our relationship with Benshi, China, or Marikina in the Philippines, or Gapyeong County in South Korea is more business to business with some arts and culture woven through it. So the opportunity to travel to India in 2012, that is the research now, working with the consulate office here in Ontario and in India to develop the very right places with the right people in the room to bring jobs and prosperity to Brampton's economy. That's the purpose of the international exchange in 2012. That research will start now that the budget's approved. But a lot of people think we're leading this delegation like a Team Canada trade mission. I wouldn't say that. Maybe we're going to go over 3 people. Maybe we're going to go over 100 people. Somebody has to show me value for taxpayers' money. This is taxpayers' money. We're not just going over to get our pictures taken in front of, which many politicians do. They all come back with their picture. I said, did you come back with some jobs?
No.
Did you come back with some investment? I'm glad you have your vote. So there has to be value for taxpayers' money, and there has to be a value proposition developed for Brampton to take to people we're meeting with to show quite succinctly the value in exploring the opportunities in Brampton for business expansion, for trade and commerce. This is the purpose of the trade mission. If that's best executed one-on-one, 100 to 1, is it best for us to link with the federal government when they're going, the provincial government, when they're going, should we be linking to the Greater Toronto Marketing Association, which we're a member of? We believe in marketing the Greater Toronto region as one region, one economic region, because that is, it doesn't make sense for Brampton to be somewhere competing with Vaughan and Oshawa, Mississauga, Toronto. If you're a business person listening to that competition, your head would pop off. We're one economic region. People live in Brampton and they work in Markham. People live in Markham and they work in Brampton. You're one economic region, and we need to think of this region of 5 million growing to a region of 8 million is where we live. This is the area of Canada that is poised to see big changes in the next 10 years, and we can have an impact on shaping those changes, or we can do nothing. It'll happen anyway. But I believe 100% that if we're involved as a community, we can help shape our future so that it is a better future than if we just It's like children. You have children, if you do absolutely nothing, they will become 25 years old. They can become 25 years old and a contributing member of society, or they can become 25 years old with no education. You need to invest in your city with your time, your energy, and your passion. And we are all part of the Brampton personality, the Brampton family. We can all contribute to what we will become. And I believe very strongly through our strategic planning efforts, which are consultative, which provide an opportunity for all citizens of Brampton to share their thoughts, their ideas, their dreams, their beliefs in how Brampton should mature. First, you have to recognize Brampton today is not what Brampton's going to be when we're built out. We're going to be 800,000 people. Let's not become 800,000 people and then say with regret, oh, I wish we thought of having these kinds of jobs or those kinds of facilities. Let's think about it now. Plan for it so when we get there, we have done the right investment in our children, their children, and in this country. That's our responsibility. That's our duty.
Well, in future, would you like to stick to Brampton as a leader, or would you be ambitious to lead the province or maybe lead the country?
Well, that's a very kind question. I am completely focused on leading Brampton to build it. So while we're in this very rapidly changing, rapidly growing time, I very much believe in the people, but I also run the city like a business. And you need a very strong leader, strong discipline, because sometimes you need to say no. Sometimes you need to foster those who are trying to make things happen and others are getting in the way. You need to be able to, we need a strong leader at the helm, and a strong leader is a leader who listens. And I believe I can listen. But if people aren't trusting the mayor, they won't be talking. And I believe we've built a relationship with the people of Brampton, a relationship of confidence and trust, which allow me to hear the very best, allow me to listen. And good listening is good leadership. So it's important to me to do the job I've been elected and chosen to do. And I sit as the mayor. I occupy the office of the mayor at the hand of the people of Brampton. The people of Brampton are always in charge. The people have the power. I sit here by their blessing, and I'm prepared to work night and day with every bit of my energy and intelligence and capacity to help shape Brampton to the dreams of the people who live here.
One last question. What would be your message to the youth, the future youth?
Well, the youth are very important in Brampton, and according to Stats Canada, we're a very young city. We are not only the 10th largest city, just by way of another statistic, it's just been evaluated that Brampton households are the highest earning households in Canada. Toronto Life magazine, February 2011. Brampton, highest earning households in Canada. And people are surprised. You know why they're surprised? Because there's not currently good communication about the facts of Brampton. We're not a small town anymore. We're a major city with tremendous power, income power. The youth of today, in a young city, imagine, have a multilingual youth who are keen and eager to make a difference. We embrace that. We surround that. I'm very proud of my mayor's youth team. We have every high school in Brampton represented by 2 students on the mayor's youth team, and have that penetration rate at the high school level. Because the young people today are fearless, and they are rapidly educating at light speed compared to the way we were taught pre-computers when we were receiving our education. The ability of the young people today is so exciting. We have to find ways to ensure we always have the youth participating in our strategic plan going forward. We'll be working very hard to bring young people's ideas to the table, because young people are not restricted by past practice. Yet we have a very active seniors community, so you can take the fearless, unrestricted vision of youth and mix in the wisdom of our seniors, stir it up with diversity, and you have our Brampton.
That's very well said.